And I'm joined on the show today by Tucker Carlson. Tucker, thanks for joining us. How's your day going?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate that. I really do. I mean that. So how is my day going? That's an interesting question, actually. It really is. So I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, so I'm tired. And the reason for that is because I woke up bleeding on both sides of my chest, actually. I went to bed with my wife, as I always do, and my 4 dogs, and also with 10 lions and 4 leopards. And I woke up, my arms were like severed off. My head was like dangling off. So I went to the bathroom and I prayed to Jesus. I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. I really did. I mean that. And I prayed to Jesus, just give me a little bit more time. And so I went to my wife and she saw it, said like, your stain going up. It was hilarious, actually. And so I said, what is that? She said, I think you've been attacked by a demon. And Luke, I know that it's true because I feel it. Yeah. And I called my producer and I said, is this normal? He said, yeah, that's totally normal. You've probably been attacked by a demon. And I could feel it. And I had this intense urge to read the Bible, so I know it's true, actually. So that's how my day is going.
Yeah. Well, wow. Thank you so much for making time within all of that. My goodness. So let's get onto some policy things and maybe offline we'll talk a little bit more about how that's all going. Why do you think the United States invaded Venezuela?
So the reason, there are many reasons why the United States government will lie and tell you. It could be to do with narco, like drugs or whatever. What do they call it? Narco terrorism? Sure, whatever. It could be oil. That's a plausible reason, actually. Oil. Other reasons they say it's because of Maduro. Maduro's bad. Okay, sure, whatever. But the real reason that the United States government doesn't want to tell you, sorry, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to shut up about it either, is because they wanted to impose homosexuality and gay marriage on what is essentially a socially conservative regime. If you can even call it a regime, I don't think you can, actually. He was actually quite democratic when you think about it, I think, actually. And so I know a lot of people in the administration, no matter what anybody tells you, and I don't care who tells you, period. You don't want to listen to them because I actually know people in the administration who have been pressuring the Biden administration and the Trump administration for years to impose gay marriage on Venezuela. And that's a fact, actually. You can check that up on the internet.
Wow. Okay. So to impose gay marriage, well, that honestly leads to a little follow-up. Speaking of gay marriage, the topic of gay, you interviewed Milo Yiannopoulos, who coins himself gay, ex-gay. He was gay, but he said not anymore. And a few interesting ideas were discussed about being gay in general. What did you learn from that interview, Tucker?
Well, gay doesn't even exist, actually. And by the way, I just want to say that Milo is the most sane individual I've ever met. And I really do. You can really feel it when he talks. He's special in many ways, actually. And so what I learned from Milo is that gay doesn't really exist. And I know people are going to say he's a homophobe. He hates gays. He's bad. What? But no, sorry, I just don't believe in pseudoscience. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to shut up about it either. But I did learn as well. So at the same time, gay doesn't exist. We know that. That's scientific. A lot of experts say it is, and I feel it. I just have a feeling about it. But also, I realized that when I went to England, I said to Piers Morgan when I was interviewed by him, I said, why is your whole country full of So on one hand, gay doesn't exist. But when you go to England, you realize that the whole place is really ties, actually. I said, why is everybody here just a And I don't know how you don't see that. And if you don't, maybe you're a I don't know. Maybe people are. And by the way, I'm British, so I have the right to say that. But I'm not going to believe gays.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Well, let's just stay on the topic of gay for a second. You once called Nick Fuentes gay, and then you had him on your show, friendly conversation. What did you learn from Nick on your show in general?
Well, first of all, Nick is just so talented. He's such a talented individual and a nice guy, actually. Really, a lot of things are taken out of context that he says, but he's essentially just a patriot. he's an American and he loves America and he puts America first. And, I apologize for ever calling him gay. There's like absolutely nothing gay about him at all, like at all, literally at all. I mean, I've seen him in clubs. I've seen how he speaks about women, and he really respects and loves women. And the only reason everybody makes fun of him for like never having sex before marriage, that's actually because he's Christian and he's a social conservative, much like Maduro. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, you're bad. You're endorsing Nick Fuentes. You're a Nazi. Nazi. No, I'm not actually. I'm not a Nazi, and neither is Nick Fuentes. He's actually a good guy, and I learned that. And I like Nick, actually.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And he's totally not gay, and I won't be told otherwise.
Okay, interesting. Well, some people criticized that you were too soft on Nick, which you sort of referenced there, especially about his views on women and Joseph Stalin. What do you say to those people?
Well, buzz off. Why don't you go and do your own interview? I can give you his number. I won't be if you tell me to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I'm an American. I don't have to do it. And if you tell me to do something, not to do something, I'm going to do it. Because that's what being an American is. It's about saying things that are not kind because people tell you not to say it. Because I can. So I can say not in the same context as Nick Fuentes, of course. Of course not.
We have a lot more from this interview that you have to watch, but really quickly, I do want to credit who's actually doing the incredible comedy you're seeing there. That's Tony Lapidus, and we appreciate him being on the show. So go support his work. We'll put his name on screen. If you search Tony Lapidus on YouTube, on X, wherever, you'll find him. Support his work. As you can see, it's quite entertaining. Back to the interview. Okay. So I don't know if you saw his live stream, Nick Fuentes, at the club in Miami and in that car they were in where they were dancing and playing. And
Beautiful.
Okay. Well, they were playing Ye's song, Hail Hitler, glorifying Hitler. Does that change your view of Fuentes at all?
Well, I mean, nobody was glorifying Hitler. What, because you're listening to a song called Hail Hitler, you're suddenly a Nazi? It's not true at all. It's ridiculous. But I actually did see, I'm never actually on the internet. I'm too old. I don't understand the internet. I don't understand anything, actually. I'm going to apologize for that. Sorry. Even though I just did, I think. The fact is that what they were doing was actually just having a good time, just sound like bros hanging out, right? And what I did notice, because somebody showed me a clip, because I'm not really on social media, I don't pay attention to it, I did realize that Nick Fuentes is actually not only a talented communicator, far talented than I ever was or am, I think, but he's actually a really talented dancer and he has good taste in music. I'm not going to apologize on behalf of Nick, because I don't think he did anything wrong. I really don't, actually. I'm proud of him, actually.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I expected that, but again, thank you so much for being with us. So just the quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button, the simplest, easiest, freest way, completely free, to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe button. Back to the video. On to a different topic. You announced recently that you're buying a house in Qatar. What was your motive for that? Is that America first?
Well, because I'm an American. I'm allowed, because fuck you. I'm allowed to buy a house in Qatar because I'm an American. I'm America first, so I buy a house in Qatar. It makes total sense. And I don't know why anybody doesn't see that. I really don't. A lot of people, what I've noticed is that people go to motive, straight to motive. You must be being funded. By the way, this is not an ad for Qatar. I'm not a fan of Qatar. I'm indifferent to Qatar. I never take any money from Qatar. I'm not sponsored by Qatar at all. I'm not a foreign agent. And everybody goes to motive and they say, you must be being funded by Qatar. Qatar, they're bad. No, I just want to buy a house in Qatar because I'm America first, period.
Okay, wow. You're passionate about that. Well, I hope this doesn't bother you, but I see your podcasts and your monologues, and it at least seems like you're a fan of Putin. Are you?
No, I'm not a fan of Putin, but what I do think is I think he's been misrepresented by the U.S. government that lies to us all the time, actually. And what I noticed when I actually interviewed him, he was extremely gentle. He was a very gentle, kind guy. And I was always told, Putin! Putin! You love Putin. No, I don't love Putin like at all, actually, like at all, I think. And he was extremely gentle and courteous. And what I noticed in particular about Putin that a lot of people, you won't hear this on the mainstream media because it's all lies, obviously, we know that. But what you will not hear is that he's actually very talented at creating Novichok. And he gave, by the way, I'm perfectly aware, this is not an ad for Putin, I'm perfectly aware that he throws, political opponents in prison and journalists. But it doesn't matter because he's also a social conservative, and he actually was so kind, he was so heartwarming when he gave me Novichok and asked me to personally deliver it as a gift to the United States president. That was so heartwarming. And you know what the U.S. government did? They said no. They snubbed him just like they did with NATO. And that's why there is a rift between Putin and the United States. They just won't accept the Novichok.
Okay. Well, let's finish on something a little bit lighter. If you had to pick one thing, what would you say is the most dangerous thing to the United States?
Well, I mean, firstly, the United States government, obviously. I think that goes without that goes without even saying, I think. But if it wasn't after the United States government, sometimes I look up in the air, like when I'm just like confused, which I am always, actually. I don't know what I know. I don't even know what I think about anything when I think about it, if I can even do that. I don't know what even is thinking. But I look up in the air and I see these kind of trails, right? And I think, what even is that? Like, really, what is that? And they're chemtrails. And I really think that they're the most dangerous thing that nobody's talking about as far as I can see. Like nobody, like except sane people like maybe Candice, who I love, obviously. And I look up and I realize, what is that? Is that just like a way of like surveilling us? Are they just like surveillance strings? Like really? Not even kidding. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to shut up about it, and neither should you. I don't care who tells you to, period.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was a wide-ranging discussion. Again, I really appreciate your time. Thank you, Tucker.
My pleasure. I mean that. Thank you.